Yeah, I'll just get straight to the point, to be honest, because I can't be bothered any other way. You actually blocked me. Are you out of your mind? I must be tripping. Yo, there's no way. You actually blocked me. Are you hearing yourself? You have been frantically messaging me, emailing me, reaching out, doing literally everything possibly to get my attention. And now what? You just suddenly block me? Yeah, fucking right. I can't believe this. I can't believe you. Why? What is wrong with you? The last conversation we had, you seemed to be really understanding of me wanting my distance. I said, maybe not now. Maybe now isn't the right time to reconnect. I gave you perhaps more space than I should have. And maybe that's why you felt so confident to keep reapproaching me when I told you that I just was not feeling it. And now, out of nowhere, the one time I think, okay, maybe I can actually reach out to you. Maybe I want to check up on you. Maybe I actually care about you. Maybe I missed you. And you blocked me. Are you serious? This, I'm not that crazy ex, but I'm not. I'm just not. We were done. I thought I was in love with you. I was stupid. I was young. Granted, we both were. Yeah, we both were idiots. I think you and I can both agree to that. Nothing that we did was okay, and nothing that we gave to each other was ever anything symbolically, remotely, functionally close to an actual relationship. I'll admit it. I'm not proud of how I treated you, and I'm not proud of the things that we did to each other. But you know that already. And I was still trying to figure out who I was as a person and growing into myself. And honestly, the same for you. More power to you. I'll be the first to admit you were far from perfect. Neither was I, and we both egged each other on in ways that we definitely shouldn't have. And it led to this really nasty, toxic situation where one second you loved me, I couldn't resist you, and the next we were both crying. It was terrible. Honestly, the worst situation that either of us should have ever gone through. Yet, somehow, someway, as fucked up, as messed up, as deliberately terrible the things that we did to each other were, I kept my promise. I told you no matter what, I could never forget you. I would never forget you. In fact, I'd rather forget everything else in my entire life than to forget what we went through. No, it wasn't perfect or fancy or ideal by any means. It was vulgar. It was very human, dramatic, painful, honest. It was honest to what we were at the time. And yes, I know so much time has passed and so much has changed about both you and me. I get it. You're no longer the same. I'm no longer the same. But that doesn't excuse this. My promises weren't for nothing. I don't just throw out words because I think they look pretty on paper or they sound nice to hear. Not even close. I said it because I meant it. I meant everything. The fact that for months after we broke up, I couldn't speak any other name other than yours. Or that the fact that months after we broke up, I still would look fondly at our pictures and imagine a future with you. Or the fact that for months into years, and as years passed, my heart still swayed for you. You had this heavy chain latched onto me. Perhaps I was the one who put it on myself, you know? That I was committing myself to this life of continual pain and suffering because I felt that this was the only love that I deserved. I was wrong. I was wrong. And so were you to think that you only deserved a love full of fighting and anger. I didn't blame you for the arguments that we had. I didn't blame you for the terrible, and I mean terrible things you said to me. And I hope you didn't blame me for the terrible things I said back to you either. But that's exactly why I just cannot fathom. I can't wrap my head around why now? Why now? Am I being ridiculous? I mean, I was the one who was ignoring everything that you were trying to tell me when you kept trying to reach back out. I get it. I completely understand. I pushed you away. I told you that clearly we both understood what we had experienced, what we had gone through. None of it was right. Absolutely none of it. And the cycle of you coming back into my life and me shamelessly opening up the door, hoping that you'll walk in to stay, wishing that things were different, wishing that you actually loved me. I was foolish. You knew I was foolish. And that's exactly why you landed such a tight grip on my heart. I admit you preyed on those weaknesses, and I let you. I honestly did. I let you dig your way into my very being, burrow inside of me whenever you needed, and reluctantly let you leave whenever you wanted. I guess the question of will you stay or will you go was never one I directly asked before. But what would I when I already know the answer? Why would I ever do that? It's not like I miss you, but nonetheless, you were still such. You were still important to me. Is it me lingering on to a pain that I know I should move on from by now? Am I afraid of accepting the fact that if I finally let you go, does that mean that all that pain that I had experienced, all those nights of tears, that they were all meaningless somehow? Because just like a storm, you suddenly came in, destroyed everything, and left. And I wonder, did I do the same to you? Did I have that same impact? Do you think of me as somebody who suddenly stormed their way into your life, not knowing what I was getting myself into, but recklessly charging forward and suddenly leaving? Perhaps it's my inclination to not want to be abandoned, to hate to be left alone, to hate the idea of a closed heart. I just don't like it. I don't like the idea of not being able to reach out to you. It's foolish, it's stupid, it's childish, immature, reckless, and dumb. It's so interesting how inhumane that very idea is. You go through life collecting memories and experiences that are meant to be forgotten, that are meant to fog up like haze on a cloudy day. But we live in a time where memories can be kept and replayed, slow mode. You can revisit any time, any place, any point that you want. And I see the dangers of that in my own life. Thinking that I can return back to you somehow, hoping, wishing, praying, whatever, that we would just come together someday and return right back to where we left off. But I know that's not going to happen. It's not. It's not. It's not going to happen. You were one who always kept that door open, even when I tried forcibly closing it. I'll admit, your persistence, it was something that I enjoyed. It's true. I loved it. As much as I knew that getting close to you, letting you in, it would only hurt me even more. I loved it. I loved thinking that somehow when we weren't arguing, when we weren't fighting, that everything was perfect. That if somehow we could find a way to enchant and recapture those moments and only those moments, and let that be the brick that we walk on forward from now on. That I could finally find peace inside of you. That maybe we could build peace together. I was wrong. I was stupid, I was foolish, and this has only just proven that. Disgustingly human. And I hate my heart for it. I hate that you still hold such a heavy burden on my spirit. It's been years. We're not kids anymore. There shouldn't be any other reason for me to want to linger on to these feelings and not let them pass like the memories that they are. And perhaps you realize this sooner than I, and you walk these steps forward. Perhaps that's why you blocked me. Perhaps that's why you finally closed that door. Am I afraid of not making true on my promises, of making you think that somehow your name still was not imprinted on the tip of my tongue? Because it is. It is. It's crazy, but it is. And I think about futures that I know won't exist and don't exist and will never exist with you. Fuck. I can't even be mad at you. Honestly, you made the right decision. You should have blocked me long ago. I understand why you're doing it now. Why you want to cut off all the loose ends. Finally shut that door close. Let the memories fade. Let time do its thing. Because so long as that door is open, I don't think either of us would have healed. It's true. It's honestly true. We wouldn't have. It just sucks, you know? It really, 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 really sucks. Because I still loved you. I did. And deep down, I feel as if for the rest of my life, there will always be a nest. Not occupied, slightly warm, as if birds were just there. A nest that we were trying to build, hoping to create a home in one another. It's gone now. I guess I need to stop being the crazy ex. And I should just learn to say goodbye. Part of me still thinks that your crazy self will eventually come back. I don't know. Maybe you will. I don't know. Would I be happy? Who knows? But one thing's for sure. I will miss you. And thank you for attempting to love me at the time that you did. Because God knows I needed it. As messy and ugly and toxic and terrible we were for each other. I can't say that I would be who I am today if I didn't go through that. I'm proud that you took those steps. I'm proud of you. And I guess it's time for me to let time do its thing and let my memories fade. Let it all drift into a distance. Let it all drift into a distance.